Here again. I had a suggestion to talk about games that are not D&D, which I would be fine with. Except, no one around here plays anything but D&D. I have some werewolf books. I've had vampire books here and there. Uh, Through the years, I've either traded them off, had girlfriends take them, had friends take them. Uh, and it's too hard to get a group, in my area with the same play tastes. I have a lot of friends that are, D&D or D20, I should say. They're hooked on it. Can't get enough D20. That's all they want to play. And I myself would like to play the storyteller system, the White Wolf stuff. I think it's really cool, and the way that you succeed and succeed better and better as you get raised. They're called raises. I can't remember if they're called raises, successes, but you know that kind of stuff is really cool. I would definitely like to play Aberrant. About the whole, in my mind, it sounds kind of like the Uncanny, set in the same setting as the Uncanny X-Men. So there's political organizations that have their own superpowered people. It's a superhero campaign. I know there's probably some people who are like, "What the hell is Aberrant?" But and I really do enjoy being better than the mundane in a mundane world. It's when they give us these a fantasy world. To me, it's fun. I like chasing down the dragon, slaying it, taking its hoard. You know, save. I hate to make like a Mario reference, but save the princess from the evil dragon. That's some of the stuff that you do in these games. And it's fun. It's great, but it tends to get a little old. You've done the same thing. I've killed the same red dragon so many times. So many times. And, me personally, I like the supernatural esque stuff. Vampires, werewolves, undead of various types are all really cool. Um, but I think people in general get hooked on preferred games. Like I played Dungeons and Dragons for, I'm 30 years old. I played Dungeons and Dragons for probably 15 years. Um, and that's a lot of role playing. And I've DM'd about 90% of that, which is not necessarily the same as playing, but it's its own reward for DMing. Uh, my thing is, and I'm getting a little bit more hits now that I've put up a couple videos, and I've posted on some people's sites. I could give shout outs. Wood WWAD, great, love listening to his stuff. Immersion, the main man, as he says, and Click Clack Bang, real good. Gentleman Gamer, great, great stuff. And I definitely would enjoy some of these deep immersion games. Also, I think the age of some of the role players nowadays has gone up because it's not new role players. We're not getting new people. We're getting you know guys like me that have been playing for 15, 20, 25 years, and they've never lost their love of the hobby. And it's a great hobby. And some people turn their nose down at us because, they're a bunch of dorks sitting in a room. Why don't you go have a real life and stuff? But life, it is what it is. And there's the fantastic things in life are more quantified in a mundane way. Because there are no dragons, there are no, princesses and evil things to slay in the mundane world, which is the cool stuff, which is what everybody wants to do. Everybody wants to be the hero or the villain, depending on what time of day you're playing, or how you feel this month is what kind of character you want to play. But, I would definitely like to play any games. Any games. I'm one of those guys. I like playing with numbers. I like learning new things. Uh, it's very fun to learn a new game system and the nuances thereof of playing with characters that are different than this standard. You know, I have a shield, I have a sword, and full plate armor. You cannot hurt me. I will stab your face, bad guy. That stuff gets old, you know? And it's hard to reinvigorate it in a new way. It's hard to take this old concept and apply these new ideas to it so that it's fresh. Because just like the movies nowadays and even books and everything's doing it. We take something old and we reskin it, modernize it, and put it out like it's new again, which it's not new. But, you know, to each his own, I guess. A different take on the old school is really what we want. We want to take these old things that we love and we want to make them new. Um, with our whole tradition of passing on what our likes as parents to our kids. The things that we like them to like. But I'm going to tell you right now, like me and my father, we are completely different people. Like, he looks at me and my gaming stuff and he's like, "What? Y'all been gaming for so many years? Why don't y'all go get a life?" And I'm like, this is part of our life. This is escapism at its best. And, I'm a big reader. I read really fast, read a lot of novels. And, my intake for new escape, new fantasy is so big. Like, I can play any game, sci-fi, fantasy, cyberpunk, horror. I really would like to play Cthulhu. Uh, Selling it, I would really love to sell it in a Cthulhu game. I think that would be very fun. And I watched, I can't remember, some people from the RPG Brigade on YouTube, and they play games every now and again, and I watch them play, I can't remember what game, what he called the game, but it was like Dawn Forge Cast. I think Hammered Shit Steak was on there. Great channels, both of them, by the way. Uh, and selling fear, I think, is one of those things that could be very, very enjoyable. Not just for the DM, seeing that the players are actually doing it, but as a player. I get the problem. Like I've seen up, Don Forge put something up about metagaming. I haven't actually watched it yet, but he himself even put something up. Is it right? Should you metagame? And I'm not sure if it's a matter of if you should or a matter of can you not. As a people, we know so much, and to not take this knowledge that we know, this information, and to say, oh well, I don't know. It's hard to do, and sometimes you'll stay in character. You can't, but then you'll forget. You get into the game and you forget things are going on, and you metagame, and you don't realize it until afterwards. You're like, I knew that wasn't something I should have done. Why did I do it that way? That's pure metagaming in and of itself. But I digress from the topic here. I just want I just want more feedback on as far as what other games are good. I've seen Cthulhu on a big time. I've seen D&D. I hear about Pathfinder every now and again. People talk about some of these other games, Star Wars, it may have been D20. I played one Star Wars D20 and it was like D20 modern with Star Wars skin. I guess like 4th edition or something. Years ago. And it comes down to, I don't think people really catch the flavor of some of these games. But like I was saying, rambling again. But yeah, what other games are good? I know some of you guys have played better games. Not to say better, but necessarily more role-playing games. Some places, some regions of the world are just, it's better, it's easier to find a game. There are people everywhere. And, my closest hobby shop for me is like 40 miles away, one way. So drive 40 miles and go out there and hope a game gets started with people you don't know or have only met one time. It's really hard to do that. And I think, as Skype and Google Plus Hangouts and all that stuff is really opening up this niche genre of entertainment because we really need it. It's pretend with rules, guys. Everybody's been a kid before, and who doesn't love pretend? Who did not run around and pretend they were Batman or Superman? In my case, Spider-Man. That's my favorite guy. Well, I read comics from the time I was like 8 till I still read comics. Like right now, I'm reading Superior Spider-Man. Awesome, but you know, these things have all influenced our gaming. These are the things that make our gaming better. But what other games are good? Just give me feedback, guys. Put other games down in the comments section. With a description if you want. If not, you don't have to. But everybody have a great day.